Welcome to the PrestigePro onboarding overview. On this demonstration, we will cover how to onboard a new employee, track their progress within the onboarding system, and ultimately certify their I-9. If you currently use our legacy onboarding system, the process of launching the onboarding for a new hire will remain the same. So once you have an employee that's accepted a job offer, you'll log into your admin account and navigate up to My Employees and New Hire. You're also able to reach this screen via the search bar here. And if you want to add it into your favorites menu, you can go to the action bar on the top right, and where it says remove from favorites, you'll have the option to add it if it's not already in your list. If you are a company that has multiple companies under Prestige, you'll be able to switch between them here so that you're hiring into the company that the offer is out for. So you can switch right there by clicking on the name right within this form. So all the fields in red do need to be completed to hire the new employee, and any field that has a link next to it like this is clickable and contains all of the information we have set up for your company specifically. And if you are a New York employer, once you choose that location, this will pop up. This is the allowances questionnaire for the state of New York. It does need to be completed for the employee if they're receiving any consecutive allowances, such as a car allowance, things like that, in their paycheck. If they are, you can note that over here and you'll select yes. But if they aren't receiving anything, you'll select no and submit the answers because that will populate on that wage form. And that pop-up will only occur for a New York employer. And then as far as personal information on the employee, you will just need their social, first and last name, and email in order to hire them. And you can hire them as far in advance as you'd like. As long as you have this information, you can launch their onboarding right away, and their due date will be determined by their hire date. Okay, so once you fill that out, all of the information down here will be based on their offer of employment, such as their start date, and then here if you want to choose their position. And if anything needs to be set up additionally, like a new position, a new department, you'll just want to contact your HR rep to get that going, and they'll be able to have that set up for you. Okay, and then you can assign their benefit group, and it's just the fields in red. And then as far as their pay, you'll choose their pay group. If you have multiple pay periods, you'll be able to select from the multiple there. And then you can choose the pay method. For an hourly employee, you'll just put in their hourly rate. If they have no base pay and they're just commission, you can choose this and input zero rate if they have no base. And if they are salaried, you do have the ability to put in a full annual. But in this dropdown, you want to select yearly as the pay rate basis so that the system will calculate and divide this among the amount of pay periods you have within a year. And then depending on your pay period, the full-time standard hours that we have set up in the system will automatically populate. So if you are hiring someone part-time, you'll just want to adjust those before hitting save down here. So once everything is filled out and you kind of give it a look over, you'll hit save, and that's going to launch the email to the employee. And that email looks just like this. And this is just letting them know they can click here to begin their onboarding and some information on the I-9 documents they're able to provide you. And it does let them know they do have to complete FIRE before their first day of work. So if you do hire them in advance, there's more time for them to complete this within the compliant time frame of the I-9. Okay, so once they click on that link, it will bring them to our employee portal where they'll be able to register with their last name, social security number, and create their unique username and password. And they'll use that username and password going forward to log in, view pay stubs, things like that, update direct deposit information, for example. So we do ask that they keep that in a safe place. And once they go through the onboarding steps, you will be alerted via email that their I-9 is ready for certification. All right, so once you hire the employee, you'll also be able to track their progress to see what step they're on in their onboarding. So once you log in here, you'll be able to navigate up to My Company and My Home. You can also reach this screen in the search bar here. And if you want to add this into your favorites, you can do that right when you're on the screen. It'll give you the option here in the action bar to add to your favorites. So once you're on this screen, in this dropdown, you're going to navigate to Onboarding Task by Status, and you'll be able to see all of the employees that you've hired. And based on the task that's selected, you'll be able to see what they've completed, the due dates based on their hire date. And if you do have access to multiple companies, you do have to just switch between the companies here to track the progress within different companies. So if you do want to see the progress for a single employee, you can click right on their name and see the status of the forms and what they've completed, and what day it was due, and if it's past due. The I-9 will always be based on the first day of employment that's entered, so the due date will always be the start date that was entered. If you want to send an employee a quick reminder email because they haven't started their onboarding, you can go over here to Actions and just hit Send Reminder, and that will just give them a reminder email letting them know they still haven't completed their onboarding. And you're able to switch between the tasks as they complete parts of their onboarding, like the first section of their I-9, which is the first step. They will fall off of this chart, but they'll be in all other forms, which encompasses their tax forms, things like that. So they do have to complete all of their forms in order to pull for payroll, and you will need to certify their I-9 as well. You can also switch over to I-9 Section 2, and you'll be able to see who's waiting on I-9 certification, but you'll also be notified via email to certify the forms. And if you do have multiple employees onboarding at once, you're able to export a report by clicking this button right here into Excel, and that will export based on the task you have selected and show you who's outstanding, what to do. If you want to run a report and have a quick view like that, and then you can send reminders based on that. You're also able, if you have a lot of new hires at once, you can search for their name here to pull up just that one person. Once the employee submits the first section of their I-9, you will be notified with an email that their I-9 is ready for certification. It will give you a link to the admin site here to log in and certify. And you do have 3 days from their first day, and that's business days, to certify the form. And the employee just has to complete fire before their first day, the first section. So once you log in to certify, you're going to want to make sure if you're in multiple entities, to just switch to the company that the I-9 approval will be in. And once you log in to your account, you're going to go right up here, and you see you'll have this check mark, and that's where your approvals are going to be. So then down here, once you go here, you can see the approvals pending that are available to you. So these are the I-9s that are waiting to be grabbed and certified. So you're able to click the approval and click grab, and then it will automatically assign that approval over to you up here. Okay, so once you do that and you click into the item, you'll have a couple of items here. You're able to, if you accidentally grab that item, or you think somebody else who certifies I-9s, because there can be multiple people at one company that certify, you can always return that over to the queue, and that will give it back so that someone else can grab it. If upon reviewing this form, their first and last name, if anything looks incorrect at all, like their address, things like that, you are able to click deny, and you're able to deny it and explain here why you're denying the approval. So you can say name spelled wrong, things like that. And we do ask that you don't include any personal information in this field, because it can be transmitted via email, and we don't want to compromise anyone's information. So if you do that and deny it, that notifies the employee with an email that they have to log in and resubmit, and it lets them know the reason. But if you review this and everything looks correct, you can hit next right here, and it will bring you to this page to select the documents that you're going to certify with. So the employee can provide you either with one document from list A or documents from list B and C. You also have access here to view the instructions at any time for the Form I-9. Okay. So then you'll select the document, type in the document number. The issuing authority will either be a drop-down, or you'll be able to type it in. And then here you'll put in the expiration date, and our system will not accept any expired dates. So for example, if I tried to put in, a date that's passed, it will not allow me to continue. Okay, so once you hit next, additional information is really only concerning anybody that has an extension on their visa or on their work authorization or something pending, and you want to you want to note it here. Otherwise, you can skip this section and leave it blank. Okay, and then on this last part here, you'll check this box that you're electronically signing the form. And put in your title here, your last name, your first name, and then your company address will automatically fill down here. Press next, and then it will give you the ability to view the fully completed form. You can always go back if you want to make changes to the information you entered, but if you're all set, you're just going to press submit, and that's going to submit the form. And then this will bring you to the page with the options to download or print, but you will always have access if you don't download or print it right away. And just as a reminder, just because you certified I-9 doesn't mean that that employee is automatically then in payroll. They do have to complete all of their forms, including their tax forms, things like that, in order to be included. So even if you certify but they still have outstanding steps in their onboarding, they will not pull for payroll until everything is complete and submitted, and you'll receive an additional email telling you their workflow is complete once they submit everything and the I-9 is certified. In order to review any documents, you'll always have access to the employee's documents that they complete during onboarding, as will they within their employee portal. So you'll be able to go to their profile here. And if you go up to the action bar, once you have the employee selected and click documents, you'll see all of the documents they completed during onboarding. And you'll be able to view them, like their wage form, for example. You can view anything that they completed and signed here, and it'll also tell you the date of their signature, and you can download or print those from here. And if you do use our legacy onboarding system, any employee that was onboarded into that system, all of their documents are still going to be stored in that old onboarding dashboard here. Eventually, they will be pulled out and put into a document repository so that everything is in one place. But for now, to get those, you'll be able to go in here to retrieve those documents. If you have any questions at all regarding the PrestigePro onboarding system, please contact your HR VP. And we hope you have a wonderful day.